Hi everyone, can you hear me, see me? Welcome. Thanks for coming today, and thank you everybody for voting. I don't know if you are on my subscription email. I sent out an email a couple of days ago and gave everyone a choice of what they wanted to see today, and I had a giveaway which I will announce the winner a little bit later on this morning. It is a surprise. It's a mystery. No. Well, I think I had 5 things I had up there. There was the Anita Jeram Teamwork. It's a snowman stamp, and that was either going to be Copics or pencils. It was, oh yeah, the watercolouring book with Alter New, or also, gold hot foiling techniques. I'm loving that at the moment. Not very good at it yet, but really enjoying the challenge of it. And also some background techniques. So I had lots of votes, and the winner was actually like the Anita Jeram. There's so many people that wanted to see the Snowman set, or the Anita Jeram colouring with Copics, and I also the pencils, but actually the Copics won. I was a bit surprised. I thought people might have wanted to see like a pencil version, but because I did Copics one other time with that like that storybook colouring, which is similar because it's that watercolouring look. So hi everyone, it's going to take a little bit of colouring today, so better get started, and I'll be talking along the way as well, obviously, because I never, that one I'm thinking. Oh, here we go again. What have I done? Pick and pick. I've had to adjust my cameras recently. Might take that out. Excuse me while I fix this again. Gosh, I had it. I tested it and it worked. My goodness. Stop. Is that better? Can you see the screen now? Oh, Laurie, sorry. The watercolor one didn't win. I have decided, it was actually decided by you guys. Yay. We're back. So good to see you all here. Oh, see, it's that one. I haven't relinked it. I'm just going to have to do the desktop because that's the one that's working. Obviously, I've had to relink on my system. And I thought I changed everyone, but I'm so sorry. I'm not very good at this computery stuff. I learn as I go. But yes, this is the stamp set I was talking about. It's called Teamwork, and it's so cute. And I just love her images. They are really fun. And Colorado Craft Company have released even more recently. But I thought I'd just talk about Copics initially because that's what we're going to be colouring with today. And you can still hear me, hopefully. Let me know if there's any problems. These are all the Copics that I own. I don't buy new colours. I shouldn't say don't. I must say don't. That means like I never would. I rarely buy new colours. What I tend to do now is actually buy refills rather than colours, and I have most of the refills now because I've had a lot of these colours and pens. I've actually had them for like more than 10 years. I know, I just that's one good thing about Copics is they're refillable. You can add new tips to them if you need to change them over, and I tend to buy the sketch markers because they actually hold more ink and they've got the brush tip, which I like on them. But I've been asked a lot, and I will talk about it as I colour. I've been asked a lot about how I choose my Copic colours or how I decide which ones I'm going to get. And I've already stamped out this image here on a piece of cardstock. I'm using some 80-pound Nina cardstock here, and it's a nice smooth white cardstock. I use this one because it's quite easy for everyone to get hold of, so it's like for like. It means that you can recreate it the same, but there are other cardstocks that are made just for, they're only made for Copics, like the Express It, and they do blend beautifully with the Express It. With the Express It's. When I say Express It's, I mean Copics with the Copics. So for the snow, I thought it'd be good just to do like the cool greys because snow is cool. And I'll just start by adding a few shadows. I'm just going to do some simple shadows and some really simple Copic colouring. But there's actually like, there's a few images. I didn't even see the cat in this image initially when I was looking at it. I only saw, and it wasn't until I looked at the packaging. But this is like Daniel from Delinati. This is how he does his storybook colouring, he calls it. It really, it's using Copics but almost getting like a watercolour look. So it is a really easy way to colour. Now I'm trying to work out which way my shadows are going. Not that I get too caught up on shadows. It's a card. Oh yeah, I meant to zoom in, thank you. Is that better? Oh, can you see me still? Can you see me still? I can't see my screen. Thanks. Thanks, Amy. For some reason my screen's gone missing. That's okay. As long as you can see me, I'm happy. Okay, so I did stamp this out with some Memento Tuxedo. And then one of the main reasons I use that is it's really, it dries really quickly when you stamp it out, and I don't have to worry about giving that little bit of drying time. Some of the hybrid inks, they are actually a bit black. Is there such a ink? Is there such a thing? But the reason I go for keep going back to the Memento is because I don't want to have to wait. I found some of the hybrids, if I start colouring too quickly, the black ink will start to actually blend out with the alcohol inks, which is annoying. But it's easily fixable. You just leave it for a little bit, and you can also heat set it a little bit too. Now, where will I go next? I might just... So the warm greys, I think, work really well on animals. And this is one of the colours that I actually never had in my collection. Is that what you call it? Of Copics. When I first bought my Copics, I bought the cool greys and the toner greys, and I like I actually was really surprised. I liked the toner greys more than the cool. I rarely used the cool, and I still rarely use the cool greys. So, and I just thought I'd get them out today because it was snow. This little rabbit makes me laugh, and it is cool. I'm not going to add a second layer of colour on the rabbit just yet. I'll let that ink just dry for a few seconds, because if you don't have many colours, one of the good tricks with Copics is you can actually just add another layer of colour of the same colour to make it darker and add some shadow. So I will do that in a minute. Next, so I did add the warm greys, and I find that they have been, I use them all the time, especially on critters. So when I was buying my colours initially, what am I doing that? What have I got? I just keep a little piece of cardstock off to the side as well, so that I can test my colour to make sure I've picked up the right one. And do I want an animal in that colour? Probably not. No. I might make the dog brown. What do you reckon? That'd be cool. It's a bit dark. Because I'm going to use this panel on the whole front of the card, that's better. I'll use the E33. So when I was choosing my colours originally, when I started buying them, the way I chose them was just by simply going to, you know, some of the artists that I followed on YouTube and seeing what colours they used on their cards, because it was really hard. There was no shops that I could go to buy them, and I find that the colours on the internet didn't really match the colours when they arrived, and they're not a cheap investment. It's like, especially like in Australia, you know, they're about, I don't know, $10 or something a pen, and then the refills are 13 or something like that. So by the time you sort of invest all that money, you don't really want to buy colours that you already have one that's really similar. So if you can't go anywhere and actually test the colours, or go to a friend's house who has them all and try them out, I just found it was easier to sort of look on the web. I kind of focused on buying groups of colours, and this one here I am adding a little bit of shading with a different colour on this puppy. Oh, cutie. So I did buy quite a few of the browns. I have quite a few browns in the Copics because I find they're good for skin tones. I do a lot of critter colouring, so I use them for that. I don't use the browns so much on all my floral designs. So now I'm going to come back in. So this is the same colour that I used before. It's the warm, the 2. I don't have a lot of like the purples. I do like purples in card making. I just don't tend to use them a lot. So I bought a couple of different tones of purple. Reds and pinks I find really hard to choose the colours of. And the greens are difficult too. So I tended to buy them in sets of 3. I'm just going to fix my screen here, hopefully. Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, Nancy, I still keep going back to the tuxedo. I have so many black inks. Oh, I got the brown now. And I keep going back to the memento every time. And I think now more so because of the MISTI, it's made it even easier, because we can just keep our stamp, and that's what I've done today. Just kept my stamp in place in the MISTI, and I can restamp it with the pigment ink after. So it takes all that. Oh no, that's too yucky. I shouldn't say yucky. It's not yucky. It wasn't what I was expecting. Wrong tone. And that's the good thing about the alcohol inks, is you can go over them again too. So I chose sort of reds, like a group of reds, a group of greens, browns, and like I would say the toner grey and the cool grey was what I initially bought. And with the blues, I did the BGs as well, because who doesn't love the teals on a card? And just a couple of like background blues as well. I do want to try this thing. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. Gosh, must be the middle of the night in Israel. The other thing is, I'm not sure, has anyone else tried any of the other alcohol markers? I've got the artist markers from Old and New, and they're very comparable like that. I actually really enjoy working with them as well. They do go onto the paper a little bit differently, but they've got the brush, which, you know, like the brush tip end is the thing that I tend to colour with. It's not what I learnt to colour with as a kid. We just had the little nib tips, but I find the brush tips good because I can get into all these really fine areas easily, and I can also do big areas easily with it as well. So it's I find them, the only thing probably with the artist markers is the color range. You don't get all the different shades, so blending, you just have to practice a little bit more, and you can actually, because there's a lot of difference between the dark and the light, so I find that that can be a little bit difficult. Yeah. And that's the only thing, but there's ways around that. You can do tip, you know, tip to tip, and there's lots of like tricks that you can do to make that still work, because they are so much cheaper than the Copics, and they also have the refills, and you can also get yeah, new nibs and things for them as well, which is really good. Well, that's probably not the best colour there. Could have done better there. Yeah, I might orange that up a little bit. I've heard about the Ohuhus, and they've got a massive colour range, haven't they? I know that Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, I'm sure she did a review on those. Huge blow. Yeah, because there is a little bit of a learning curve with the alcohol markers. Should be colouring while I'm talking. I'm looking to see what you guys are up to. Where am I at? I haven't coloured the tail. So initially I just chose my colours by like looking at what other people did. Then when I started going to papercraft shows and things, I could actually test the colours. In the end, I just stopped buying new colours, and until I looked at the colours I actually had, and I filled some gaps. Like I found there were colours that I owned that were, bought a couple that were in different numbers but really similar colours, and that was a bit of a waste of money really. But I can, what I did was look at the colours I had, and there was some that I wasn't using because I didn't have ones to blend them out with. And so they were sort of sitting there being a waste as well. So I was very specific. About which colours I bought. Actually looked at, I had like a dark green that I wasn't using because it was didn't actually go with any of the other colours, so I bought the next one in that family, or one that I could use with it, and that way I started using that green then. Oh, can you see? I'm just making a striped scarf here, and you might already, if you've been in my blog lately, you already know I'm on a Christmas pink and red kick. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to have them all, wouldn't it? Should have done. I might make this red as well. Definitely, I don't feel like I need them all. It's just I would never use them, and I couldn't afford to buy all the refills as well. So then it's kind of like a waste. Make do with the ones I've got, and I mix them up with the artist markers as well because they're all compatible. I want like another. Oh, I'm going to add a bit more shading. Oh, I didn't know that, Laurie. Maybe that's where I got my inspiration from. I always do. Everyone else out there. Cat's going silly. And the dog's got a bone. So it really is quite messy. This is like almost getting like a watercolor a look. And even though this is a C, this is the O, I'll use the 3 on the first one. It looks like a lot warmer color. It's weird. Works though. So the other way, excuse me. We need a little bit of shading. Two markers everywhere here. There it is. I was using my markers all the time, and excuse me, and pencils. I use them all the time as well, but I haven't been using them as much lately, so I was pretty excited to start using them, and that you guys chose them. Thank you very much. Now, if you're not sure, the packaging on these stamps actually gives you some really good ideas. I'll just show you this particular one though. How cool is this? That would be the original picture that they used. So it's a real kind of, she's coloured it cream. It's like that real vintagey look. So this looks similar but different. And make it a bit more. I'm not sure whether to leave a bit of white in there or not. We'll see. You can do no line colouring with Copics as well, but just make sure that you choose an ink that's a hybrid ink. That just means it's one that's compatible with alcohol marker ink. I think this little birdie could have a red tummy. Hello everybody. It's the only thing when I'm colouring, I can't look up at the comments. So thank you, Michelle, for moderating. I don't know if anyone knows how to share the video. I think there's a way that you can share it while it's going live or after. All very, I find social media can be just a little bit confusing. But if anybody knows how to do that, that would be awesome. Oh, W, no, go to. I don't mind mixing up the greys either. It's fun to see what everybody wanted to see, and I also had quite a few people wanted to see the background techniques with the turnabout and stencils, so I will revisit that, I promise. Just add a bit of shadow here. What have I missed? I haven't coloured a scarf, have I? Have I missed an animal at all? No, what colour do you reckon I should colour the scarf? Hi Lisa, welcome. I'm glad you could make it. So if you can write down what colour I should do the scarf, I'm going to do a bit of, when I looked up some of the images, Anita does this kind of a blue, almost like a washy sky background, and I thought this is the B with 4 zeros, so it's really pale. And I thought I'd try and create like a watercolor look using this, and this I'm going to change the look up a little bit, make the whole image pop off card, because it's going to be basically a one-layer card and really something that's easy to post. Oh, I noticed I haven't coloured his collar for the dog, and I'm just using that, like I said, that brush nib. This is one thing I like about these Copics and artist markers, is that because I can get that wide, really quick background, wide coverage of colour down. The other end of these sketch markers is actually a chisel tip, so that has a really wide end on it as well. But the only thing with that is I find it, I'm not as practiced at using it. Oh, you didn't tell me I missed the arms here as well. So I tend to get more streaks with that. Sorry. Aqua. I like aqua. You do that. And on some of her drawings, she does these little dot, sort of snow dot things. Give that a try. Why not? The more that you colour an image, the more practice you get at it, and I find it easier to colour. If I've never coloured something before, it can take me just a little while to get used to. Oh, bye, Zaramara. Welcome, thanks for coming. Right. Picks up these missing bits I did now. How are we going for time? We're going all right. That wasn't right. What was it? 40. It was in the 40s. I've got markers everywhere here. No, I've had it out. Can't find it. So what I was saying before, and I don't think I finished it because I kept talking, was you can do no line colouring with Copics. You just need to choose a hybrid ink, and there's a lot of companies that make a lot of their inks are hybrid. It will say on the packaging whether you can or can't. I know MFT do hybrid ink, but just a normal dye ink won't work. It will bleed. And you can't use Copics with, although I know people that do, can't use Copics with embossing powders either. They don't work very well. Is this the colour you meant, Michelle? Go with that. Oh, so these, I'll show you the storage cases again in a moment. These are awesome. I store my Copics lying flat, not standing upright. Because there's a nib at each end, that's the chisel nib I was talking about. It just, the ink is actually stored in the center. So it just saves each end drying out. I think glitter glue is a great idea. Have I missed? Oh yeah, I didn't do that. BG11 and BG10, to me, they're pretty much the same color. For some reason, my BG11 works better than my BG10. So I use that one more. And I find that the 72 is the best shade color on it ever. Although I have seen people use, it's a blue, like a grey blue with this, and that looks really cool. So if you've got a grey blue, just try it out. I like blending the colours together that maybe not meant to go together, because that works too. Now, I missed his arm a little bit, didn't I? It's a cute puppy. I reckon that's it, isn't it, really? I'll just restamp it. Wait while I zoom out. So you can see what I'm up to. I'll let my stamp in place, and now I'm just going to come in . Oh shoot. Oops. I'm trying out these new. That didn't work so well. These are from Tailored Expressions. You know how I use that grid transparency? They've got 4 in a pack. They're a lot solider. Is that a word? They're more solid. Is that better English? I didn't realise it was in there and I couldn't see it. The only thing I'm not liking about them is they don't have the the center line like my grid transparency, so I actually considered drawing it on. But I'm just trying them out for a while and see what I think of them before I recommend them or not. They are pretty cool though. And that just brings the edges of the stamp, and especially with that sort of storybook kind of colouring, looks pretty cool. This is one of the sentiments. Take that one out. That's one of the sizes that's in the set. There's small, it's either 3 in a pack or 4. It's a small one, and then there's a clear one as well, which is pretty cool. I've only ever had one Copic marker. It had a little crack in the barrel, I think, and I don't know if it was in postage or if I dropped it, but pretty much all my Copics are 10 years old plus, and they've been so used. They just last forever, they really do. But they are an investment. There's no point if you're not going to use them. They are expensive. It's only one of those things. I can see why people try, you know, like if you're not sure if you're going to use it, get one of the cheaper brands and give them a go. But they are awesome. One of the best colouring mediums. Is that it? Is that my colouring done? One of the basics. How pretty. Where are we at? Okay. Who wants to see the same with a pencil? Or do you want me to see if I can got time to colour one up with some pencils? How far we get? I'm in winter. I haven't got a tan. We're at the end of winter. Thank you. So this is how I saw my Copic. Someone else. These are actually separate bins. I've just joined them. They come hard to pull the tab out. Where is it? This little tab here. So I've actually got 4 that I sit together and I join them together. The other 2 have all my artist markers in them. I just separated it so I could show you today. But the box is actually only, you know, that's how big they are. And they've got these diagonal. So that way I can keep all my colour families together. Really easy. If I can find them, I'll link them to you. I've got mine at like an office supply store, but they're also, I've seen them at a couple of the craft stores as well. Maybe even scrapbook.com might have had them. Yes, please, pencils. Do a little bit of colouring. All right, let's do that. This is how I store my pencils. These are the Prismacolor ones. So I have the full set of these, but only because I got such a good deal. But I had the 72 set when I initially bought them, and because when I sharpen them down, they get quite small. There's the smaller bits I usually sit at the front. Yeah. So got too many Copic. Never said no one ever. Gosh, it's been a while since I've had my pencils out. It's probably going to be easier if I stay with the same colours, similar colours. I'll just do some really quick colouring because I'll use my Gamsol here to blend it out. And I want it to look a little bit, you know, watercolory, even though it's not watercolour. And I don't blend all the bits out because, you know, some of these are going to be very fine, and my blending stumps are getting a little bit, I need to like shave them. Is that what you say? Like sharpen them. That's the words. Get my words right. And the good thing about these, because they're a wax-based pencil, if you're colouring with them, they actually blend with each other as well as you colour. Another thing with pencils is, and Copics, is you can actually mix the two together. So if you don't have a lot of Copic colours, you can actually, oh, it's brown. Colour with your Copics first, and then come in. I'm just trying to find the greys. The barrels are a bit deceiving. So colour with your Copics first, and then come in and actually keep grabbing the espresso. And then come in and actually colour with, gosh, keep grabbing the espresso. Pencil over top, and it's a really good way of shading. So with that picture that I've just coloured now, and you don't need to stamp out with the Memento ink, you can actually go straight to the pigment ink when you're colouring with these. If you don't have a lot of colours in Copics, then come in and add some shading after with the pencils, and they mix beautifully. The only thing you can't do is come back in with your Copics again. So all I'm doing is just laying down some really simple colour here. And then my Gamsol will do the hard work for me. I'm not worrying about doing any fancy blending. What's that? That's a warm grey. So I was looking for a cool grey. I know there's some in here. Everything's feeling warm. Oh, that should be one. Oh, that's warm. There we go. That's cool. I like mixing the warm and the cool greys together. Yeah, it has been a long time since I've got my pencils out. I think it's because I've been doing so much, I've been enjoying the watercolouring lately. I'm at work too much. I'm not sure if you missed me last week, but I missed my live because I was not well. I had a bad back. You want to know what I reckon it's from? Too much crafting. Is there such a thing? I was I'm not sure, did you see? I had a Cricut video come up recently, and it's the first time I've used a Cricut. So I was mucking around for I think 2 or 3 days. So I was meant to be away on holidays, but we weren't allowed to travel because of lockdown. So I ended up staying home and just crafting. And I don't normally, I'm on my feet all day at work and that, so I don't normally sit around a lot. Sitting down for 2 to 3 days just did me in, and I couldn't walk. I had to stand up and do everything for a while. Anyway, I'm good now. Back on deck. That's greys. I reckon that. It's cool. But yeah, it's very frustrating when you can't do what you want to do. All right, let's blend some of this out. Has anyone used Gamsol before? No, Amy, I'm sitting down again crafting. I don't know, there is some merit to crafting standing up. I can see why people do it. I reckon this is dry. It's been a while. Yeah. Very happy to be walking properly again. Although by the end of 8 hours at work, I am feeling it. So this is a product called Gamsol, and basically what it does, it just helps blend out the pencil. So where it looked streaky before, it's now blended. It's pretty cool stuff actually. It's not going to be dark enough, that cat. And with the pencils, you can keep layering them up too. It's trying to do it nice and simple. In the same colours. Just blend it. So I'll just blend it all out again, and then I'll add the stripes, just to add a bit more depth to this poor little kitty cat. I'm a little bit miserable. I'll do the dog a bit differently this time. So it's the cool dog. And I agree. The Gamsol does, it's just a game changer. It doesn't have to be the product Gamsol. You can use, because that's a bit difficult to get here in Australia in particular, you can use a product called Odorless White Mineral Spirit, I think it's called. You get it at most art shops, and it's inexpensive, and really a little goes such a long way. You don't need much at all. Here's my, I was using a bigger one before. I'll just clean off, like I say, I'm pretty lazy at keeping these blending stumps ready to go. I've just cleaned it off by this. See a bit of red in there. You don't want the blending stump overly wet. I think it's that colour I've used, it's a bit, anyway. The undertone's a bit, he's ended up a bit redder than I thought he was going to be. Be alright though, won't he? He'll be happy. He looks like a happy dog. What colours? I'm changing up my colours a little bit, complicating it. I'll make this scarf Yeah, you guys are allowed to meet up, aren't you? Odorless mineral spirits, that sounds right. Cat hair every week. So that just got rid of all of that. I don't know if you can tell, but it just blends it out. I still want it to look a little bit watercolory. Not sure if that's working or not. It's going to be too grey. Best thing about these drawings is they're so forgiving. Easy to use. Now we need a straw hat, don't we? Zest. Yeah, I had Zest. I don't know why I stopped using it. I just found, I think mainly because I like using the nib. I just found it easier to use the nib of the bottle here maybe than the Zest, and it dried out quicker. But it's a really good product though, and something we can get that one here in Australia. I feel like the cat's lacking depth. That makes me happier. And the rabbit, probably will do the French craze. Not sure what that one is. That one could be fun. I think the rabbit's my favourite out of all of these images. Normally to be a cat. One thing I do like to do with the pencils though is to make sure that I have the stamp to be able to restamp it, because you can get what's called a bloom on the edge. The wax actually, what it does is it kind of covers up the edges of your stamped area. Oh, we haven't done the carrot. And this is pencil, so you can use an eraser pen. And definitely some red on the hat. So what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I've got a giveaway. I did pick a winner, and if I had a fancy thing like Daniel, I could do a drum roll. But the winner today, it is Jenny. Congratulations, Jenny. I was so excited. I was just a random winner. So if you, there are a few Jennies. So this, I won't mention her last name, but the email has Embark Mail. It was from Embark Mail. So congratulations. It's a $25 gift certificate to the store of your choice. So I will email you directly. So do check out your emails. Make sure you, if you haven't seen it, I'll do it this morning. So if you haven't, I'm in the morning. If you haven't seen it, check your spam and then get back to me if you haven't got it through. But I've got your email address there, so I will email you. So congratulations. Let me know where you want to spend your certificate. I'm just so appreciative of you guys coming back, spending some time with me. I enjoy these lives because I feel like I'm crafting with friends, and we haven't been able to do that for such a long time. We're in lockdown here again, but I'm still going to work, so that keeps me out of mischief. I'm trying not to be too particular here. How's that looking? I know I've missed stuff, haven't I, again? Same as before. Scarf. You're all sitting there going, do the scarf, aren't you? The hat. Now I'm thinking of a colour. Try not to overthink it. I've used some of the colours that I've already been using, then I know it's all going to match. Kind of match. He's missing something, isn't he? A little bit of roundness here. Glad I didn't touch that on there. I've got a grey one somewhere. Will that do? Yeah, Lisa, I know you guys are still, and you're not coming out anytime soon either, I don't think. Oh, I hope you're finding lots of fun crafty time though. It's got to be something good to come out of it. Just added a little bit of rough shadow. I think this does need some sprinkles and sparkle. Look, and maybe a bit of a background, but I won't be doing that right now because we are running out of time. But there, that's the, well, I'll zoom out a bit. This version is definitely a lot warmer. So I'll probably finish colouring that one and post the finished pictures up on my blog. So I'm back. Congratulations, Jenny. I will be back for another live. I was planning on Friday, October the 8th, which will be Thursday the 7th. in the US and the EU. I'm so happy that you'll join me today, and I hope that you had fun colouring with me. I will go back and read all the comments. If I did miss any questions, which I know I did, thank you for Michelle for moderating and for answering any questions that I've missed. But do write them in the comment section below the video once it goes up live, and I can always answer you there, or email me at my blog. The emails on my blog page itself. I'll come back in and add all the links to the products that I can find. I'll try and find those containers too, because they're really cool, those Copic Storage containers. I've had them for years. They just last forever as well. How's everyone going on their Christmas cards? I've never made this many Christmas cards this early ever before, so I'm pretty excited. Yeah, oh yeah, it is. You're in fall, we're in spring. I think I said fall. So thank you everyone yet again. I think that was all I really needed to talk about. I did say I had the cricket video go up, so if you haven't seen that yet, check it out. I had lots of fun learning and playing with the cricket, and I did like the whole design space thing as well. And I know that they've got a special on the Cricut Maker at the moment, even free postage, so I could put that link in at my blog if you're interested in that. So I reckon that's all I got to say. And also I've been guest designing for Concord and Night this month, which I've had lots of fun with, so don't miss those videos and posts. So thank you very much. I'll see you on Friday the 8th of October or Thursday the 7th, depending on where you live. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.